Okay, hey, what's up, everyone? Here we are, number 2. Now, one of the things that I did take note, after that initial guide that I put out, I realized that this course actually has some really difficult setups here. That first playthrough I had was pretty straightforward, standard, pretty easy. It's more towards the front end of kind of the luckiest that I could get. So you'll see that a lot of these other shots might be a little bit tougher. So what I'm going to do, first off, I'm going to try to kind of overplay the wind a little bit. So, and it's kind of right where I wanted it. And again, as I mentioned, we're trying to intentionally overplay this because the slope is going to help with the shots. Now, for this pitching wedge, we're typically looking at maybe about a 77 land zone. It's pretty true to what this hole plays. It might land 76. There's a little bit of a tailwind. I'm thinking about taking off about 1% because of that. We probably want it to land about 77. We want it to land pretty much spot on 77. It's almost going to come inside door. And one of the good things about the javelin ball here, even on this tight pin, if I get this distance right, if I land this distance perfect, this is in. So it really comes down to just kind of micro adjustments of a difference. So as I mentioned, every little tick mark that you do up here becomes very important, especially when you're bringing something inside door like this. So I'm thinking something along the lines of maybe one more tick mark, maybe right here. So you can see this is probably, I don't know, just kind of judging it 98, 98 and a half, 98 and a quarter, just by kind of what I visually see and know, there's still at least 2 more tick marks that I can put in there. So, just from an eyeball perspective, that's what I'd say. It's really hard to tell about this wind, how much downwind it is. So I'm trying to be a little bit conservative. I wouldn't imagine that wind would play more than 1.5 yards, maybe. So, hopefully this is right, but I think my mistake could be just that this is going to be a little bit too hot. So I do think I might have not really taken off enough if I had to guess, but it could be perfect. So, I don't want to tinker with it too much. And just as I mentioned, it's just too hot. It comes in just behind the stick. So that second bounce could have been on the hole with just one little tick mark less. And as I mentioned, I was kind of on the fence about doing that. Just didn't, I just couldn't bring myself to do it, especially on that front pin. Let's say I land on that fringe on accident. I didn't think that I would because I've played this, enough times to pretty much know that it plays pretty true to that number. So, with that in mind, we did want to stay fairly aggressive, and unfortunately, I wasn't able to get that one. But I'll catch you guys momentarily on this next one.